Well, hello, hello, hello. This is Rhonda Simmons, and I am the founder and CEO of the Simmons Empowerment Foundation. And welcome to another edition of our podcast, Empowered Heart to Heart. We're so glad that you're here and that you can be a part of this wonderful episode. I'm so excited today because we have another guest to interview. I tell you, I've been making some wonderful connections with people and organizations who have one goal and objective in mind, and that is to help teen moms in whatever way they can. And today I'm happy to have with me the Community Engagement Director for Hope Pregnancy Center here in Killeen, Texas. And I am so excited that she's able to be here. And we're going to bring her on to the show and welcome Heather Ortner. We're so glad that you're here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I look forward to chatting with you.
Yes, yes. I'm looking forward to the conversation and I appreciate your time and being here today. So, Heather, tell us about yourself and about your organization and its mission and your role in it.
Well, I am a Texan through and through. I grew up in the Georgetown area. I went to college at Texas Tech. Came back to Central Texas because I missed the trees, and just I graduated during the recession, and my dad said, "Why don't you volunteer over at the local pregnancy center, where he was a board director at?" So I'd always grown up having a heart for single moms and just kind of dipped my toe in it. And I just couldn't stay away. So this is the third pregnancy center I've been able to serve at, but I've been in the nonprofit slash ministry role for about 18 years.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. And I'm just going to say it for the audience because we're all thinking it. You don't look like you've been working professionally for 18 years, ma'am. I
Well, I
tell
don't
you,
know. Thank you.
but maybe that's because you found the secret sauce, and that is your success is dependent upon your generosity and giving. And giving is, more than just money, it's your time. And hats off to you for making that choice to serve in this capacity.
Yeah, well, as you know, being in this world is, God is so good, and getting to see all the good things that are happening. I feel like I'm actually in a privileged place to be in a front row seat to see all the goodness in the world and to see how people are coming together with organizations like yours and um, really working together. So when I hear a lot of the narrative that not enough is being done, sure, we could always do more, but to get to see how generous people are, how we can really galvanize together and serve women and families, it's always inspiring, and I love to be a part of it.
That is wonderful. And just for our viewers and our listeners, and by the way, for those who may be watching on our YouTube channel, please make sure that you like and share this episode because we want people to know about the great work that the Hope Pregnancy Center is doing. Another thing, Heather, you mentioned is how our organizations are similar. As my audience knows, our organization, the Simmons Empowerment Foundation, our mission is to have a home for unwed teen moms and to empower them through pre and postnatal health education and job skills training and counseling and coaching if needed. And so, um, when it comes to your organization, what is the impact that your organization, Hope Pregnancy Center, is having on the community that you're the proudest of?
Who are the proudest? Well, we say that we are pro abundant life. And so generally, we've been around for about 40 years. So when a woman comes in, she's generally facing an unplanned pregnancy. Sometimes her partner or boyfriend is with her. But what we try to do is we try to offer her comfort and peace, assurance, and the hope of the gospel, firstly, if she's open to it. But assure her that she has real help, that we're here to walk the walk with her, whatever she decides, and that we're here to show her God's love. And so the thing that I'm most proudest is seeing that transformation. And like I said earlier, being part of the nonprofit world, I feel like I didn't really deserve it. I'm not doing the hard stuff. Everybody else is doing it, but I get to watch it. So the thing I'm probably most proud of hope in the ministry is that seeing a woman see her ultrasound and see her baby and fall in love with her baby, and then seeing her have so much courage to be a mom, whatever challenges she's facing, um, and to see that go into one generation to the next, I think is the most rewarding thing. That it doesn't just affect her or her child; it transforms her family and ultimately her children's children, and so on. And so the impact is so profound. We really couldn't even measure it this side of heaven. The difference it makes when a woman makes a choice that she's proud of and that gives her courage and that shows what she's capable of.
Wow, wow. You said so many things there that I just have to speak on. Number one, I love, love, love the fact that you keep Christ at the center and the forefront of everything your organization does. I love that. This is still the United States of America. We still have certain rights that we can exercise. And I certainly appreciate that. And one thing you don't know about me, Heather, is that I'm also an associate pastor at my church in Killeen, New Life Apostolic Church in Killeen. And I am unapologetically pro life. And I love how you put it, pro abundant life. I love it. I love it. And I know that in light of the recent changes and thanks to the Supreme Court where abortion is concerned, um, many people don't stand with us and have the same views.
Right.
Again, this is the United States, and we still get to exercise our right and our inalienable rights. That's a hard word to say. And so I appreciate that. That is just so wonderful to hear. And so, what are your organization's biggest challenges? What is the one thing that Hope Pregnancy Center just has a challenge with?
Well, I think you touched on it a little bit, especially right now. With Roe v. Wade being overturned, it is absolutely a victory for life, but it presents new challenges. It presents challenges with women, with what they're being told. Maybe some things that people believe about pregnancy centers around the nation that are just untrue or misguided, of what we do and what we don't do. We don't coerce or force women to make any decision. We hope that that she chooses life. We are unapologetically pro-life as well. But we show love to her, and we show God's unconditional love to her no matter what choice she chooses. And we actually have a pretty robust post-abortion ministry, rather, that helps women after they've regretted their abortion, whether it's 10 weeks or 10 years down the line. There are many women who come seeking emotional and spiritual support for that. And so we are happy to offer that. We're proud to offer that. But I would say one of the biggest challenges right now is women coming in who are just very fearful. They don't understand what the laws are. And, they're already in a very vulnerable position finding out that they're pregnant, that they didn't expect it. And so they're being told so many things online. They're being told that the easy way out is getting the abortion pill online, or the easy way out is going across state borders. And they're being told this is a quick solution, that actually is going to leave them in a lot of maybe even physical, but emotional and spiritual pain. And so we want to spare them from that, but we also know that we can't make that decision for them, that they have free will and that we have to respect their own decisions. So I would say the biggest challenge is to try to dispel some of those people that like to disparage pregnancy centers or may not understand what we do, but also to make sure that woman understands all of her options, that she has as much information as possible, because that really is empowerment, that she's equipped to make a decision she's proud of later on down the line. It's something that she can really be proud to tell her kids about someday.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I like that you take a holistic approach to serving the women that you serve. How do you find the clients that you have?
Well, the number one way that we find clients is online, through Google. And so it's really important to us. And we invest a lot of resources into making sure when she's searching for those related terms and related to unplanned pregnancy that she finds us. She finds a place that doesn't profit from her choice, that gives her confidential, free, life affirming services to help her in her decision and to give her support. But we also go a lot by word of mouth. So I can't tell you how many times just the staff. So I can only imagine everyone who's ever had a part at Hope Pregnancy Center. Everyone, at least a time or two, has had a waiter or something see a name tag and say, "I came to Hope when I was 19 and scared and pregnant, and now my baby girl's about to graduate from high school. My daughter came to Hope. And we were really upset, and we wanted to have her have an abortion, and we said, okay, we'll go to this place and get an ultrasound, and we fell in love with our grandchildren, and now they're in the third grade, and we're just in love with them." And so getting to hear those stories is just kind
Yeah.
of it's something, it's a legacy that was created way before you. It's like you had
Yeah.
nothing to do with that, but you're part of something that God is using
Yeah.
to just make this ripple effect in people's lives. And
Yeah.
seeing a little kid that and I've sat down with little kids and looked into their eyes, and they're just like, you just fall in love with them, and to know that they may not be born, they may not be with us, and to see the gratitude in the parents' faces that they said, I was so scared and I was going to do something um, so rash based out of fear, and you helped me choose something out of love.
Wow, wow, that is so powerful. Your organization's name says it all, hope, and you're offering hope, and that is so very, very powerful. I don't have any children of my own, but one of the things that I have experienced is that feeling of hopelessness. I remember uh, over 20 years ago waking up in a hospital after a major surgery, and the very first thing I thought, through my sedation and everything, the very first thing I thought was, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And I can't even talk about that moment so long ago without getting choked up, because I know what that sense of regret
Yeah,
feels like. And for the pregnant moms, no matter how old you may be, and that are watching or listening to this podcast, and you're thinking that abortion is your only option, it's not. It is not. And I respect, Heather. I respect the fact that there are some moms that may say, "I do not want a baby right now." I respect that. But there are so many parents out there that would love to raise your child. Is that not true?
absolutely.
Yeah.
There really is.
And so, and speaking of, does Hope Pregnancy Center ever partner with adoption agencies, like private adoption agencies?
So we are very pro adoption.
Mhm.
And by the way, Rhonda, I know you know this as a pastor that God's grace covers all of us. We
Yes, it
all
does.
fall short, and
Yes,
obviously God is using your huge heart and your talents to do something amazing. And but sorry, what was the question?
it
I lost
does.
track.
Does Hope Pregnancy Center ever partner with adoption agencies?
That's right. Yes, we have a pretty robust referral service, and so they are vetted adoption agencies that have Christ-like values, and so we don't pick one and say you have to go through this one. These are our terms, but we will set up a way and facilitate a way that they can get with the adoption. We also want to educate pregnant moms about the different types of adoption. You know, adoption wasn't what it was like in the 70s. You know, now there's open adoption, there are different variations of private and open adoption. So the modern adoption is such a loving choice to provide parents. And that's the term I like to use is you're providing parents. You're not giving up your baby. We often hear from women facing unplanned pregnancy, well, I can never give up my baby when they're considering abortion. So that act of just feels like an act of rejection once their baby is fully grown and born. And so we try to dispel that. But, you know, there's such a strong narrative in today's society that adoption is a selfish thing when it couldn't be further from the truth. It's probably the most courageous, selfless thing I
Yes,
could
yes,
possibly think of, to put
yes.
the needs of your child above your own wants and desires, and need to feel loved, and say, I'm going to provide them the best family. So we are extremely pro adoption. Now, we struggle. The clients really don't often want to hear about adoption, especially if they're abortion minded. That's not an option they want to consider, but we are constantly looking for different ways to be more compelling and to educate them. And so we meet with adoption agencies and leaders to help us communicate that. Um, and so we do continually follow up with that. And there are some moms that do choose adoption. Um, And then once they see the process, when you choose adoption, you have prenatal care. Oftentimes you get to stay at some kind type of housing that the adoption agency provides. So every agency is different, but you are provided with that, and you have until, I believe it's 72 hours to confirm if that's what you want to do. So up until the moment your baby is born, you still are in control of whether or not you want to choose adoption. So I'm with you. Adoption is just the best thing in the world, and the people who adopt are just the cream of the crop type of families.
Yes, my husband and I will probably reach out to Hope Pregnancy Center because we are looking to adopt in the future.
Really?
Yes,
That's
yes,
so
we are.
wonderful.
And so we're just real excited about all of this, um, and so wow, how can people get involved with Hope Pregnancy Center?
Well, one thing I love about Hope is that you can use any resource that you have. God gives us all talents. And so if you're a working mom, maybe you're able to come a couple hours a week or even a month and help with our Hannah's Closet, which is a baby boutique that we
Oh,
provide for parents who, they're new parents. Like, you have no idea what you're doing when you're a new parent. To this day, if someone hands me a baby, I feel like I've forgotten everything and I don't want to drop it. And so we have lots of parenting education. And while they go to those and participate in those classes, they can earn baby bucks for that boutique. So in addition to getting the formula and diapers that we give, we also allow them to earn more. So they are more in control, and then it doesn't feel quite like a handout. They're actually earning it, and they're also like learning some great skills about breastfeeding and just all those little goodies that you just have to learn as you go oftentimes.
yes, yes. It's amazing. Babies aren't born with instruction manuals, right?
That's right. You turn to blog post, and then you finally realize you just have to turn to God about stuff, because sometimes things are just a mystery, but they usually end up they're pretty strong little tykes. So there's not
Yes,
much you can do to mess it up.
yes, yes. I'm so excited because, as I mentioned, uh, our missions are very similar in our organizations. And one of the things that you may not know is that the Simmons Empowerment Foundation launched a program called Dear Future Me. And it has to do with improving college and career readiness for at risk students, including teen moms. And because a lot of them, especially when they're young like that, ages 15 to 21, I can't imagine how overwhelmed they may feel with, oh my goodness, I'm a mom and I need a job, but I don't know how to get a job. I don't know how to conduct an interview. I don't know how to dress appropriately. I don't know how to talk appropriately for an interview. And so our program, number one, is 100% virtual. So for that age group, if you're not coming through the phone, you're dead to them. So
Right. Right.
the program is 100% virtual, but the secret sauce, and it has interactive lessons, learning modules, and activities. But the secret sauce of the program is our group empowerment coaching. And we have a team of empowerment coaches from educators to doctors to authors, and we even have a couple of international motivational speakers on the team as well. Just real exciting stuff. All on the same page to help these at-risk youth um, grow and become who they were intended to become. And one of the things that we're going to add to the program is that we do want to bring in some community businesses, because the ultimate goal of the program is that by the end of the program, these young people can get jobs with with the businesses that are involved in our program. And so I'm saying all that to say is that since I'm the founder and CEO, I can do this without my board. But what I would like to say is, if Hope Pregnancy Center has um, two teen moms within the age of 15 to 21 that you think would be a good fit for the program, we would like to uh, donate access to our mini course program for free, so
That's
that they can
amazing.
Yeah, so that they can get access to the resources and the empowerment coaching and all of the course materials. And I will send you that information as well. The other thing I wanted to tell you that I didn't tell you ahead of time was that we're also offering a scholarship um, this fall. And I think, did I click show? Nope, there we go. So if someone is watching, if they will text the word graduate to 33777, the link to the scholarship application, and all of the eligibility criteria is there. It is a $1,000 scholarship to any college, vocational school, university, or even if they're in a private school in the United States, we will pay that $1,000 scholarship
That's
to.
amazing.
Yeah, and so we want to give back. The scholarship application window is open until August the 14th. And so let your clients know it's out there. We want to help them. Um,
That's wonderful.
well, we're just trying to do our part. And and so what other types of donations does Hope Pregnancy Center accept?
So we always accept formula and diapers and wipes because we know that you could just go through those like crazy. And Similac, there was the shortage, of course, and then some of them were taken off the shelves, and so we are starting to replenish that inventory. But
Mhm.
we'll also take gently to new something something that's nice enough you put on your baby again. Um, Items of clothing. We do take some small furniture, just depending on how much room we have,
Mhm.
and I feel like I'm forgetting something else, but just those residual needs, those baby essentials. We also are always in need of maternity clothes because maternity clothes are expensive.
Yes.
And So those are kind of the main things people can give materially. You can also volunteer. So we have client consultants, which are very trained consultants that sit with a woman when she comes in for her pregnancy test and educates her on her options. And so we don't just leave someone out to the wolves. We do give a lot of training and ongoing training for that. We are not a medical facility. While we do have a medical director and a nurse, we are not a clinic. So some pregnancy centers are a clinic, they're HIPAA compliant, but we do not provide any medical advice or anything like that. But we do have certified sonographers and nurses on staff and as volunteers to perform the ultrasounds. We don't just like let someone like me come and work an ultrasound machine. That would not go well. So we're always looking for medical professionals who can maybe donate like a shift, a 4-hour shift a week or something to help with our ultrasounds.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So where would someone bring their tangible donations?
So what I would say to do is to call your nearest center. So we have 3 centers. I'm not sure I said that. We have a center in Killeen, Temple, and Coppers Cove. So I would just give them a call to just give them a heads up you're coming so they can expect you. We are really big on confidentiality. So we want to make sure that a donor doesn't come when maybe there's some certain clients there. So they don't kind of cross paths and say, oh, you're in the youth group, or oh, you're so and so's daughter. So we are really careful to try to manage that. So the best way I could say is to give us a call so we can just kind of prepare for you to come.
Okay. And all righty. So, and you said the Hope Pregnancy Centers in Killeen, Coppers Cove, and Temple, Texas, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And is there like an 800 number that we should call?
Well, we don't. We're not that snazzy. We have 3 different lines, and the best way to get a hold, look at our locations, is hopepc.com. That is our client website. Now, if you and that has all 3 of our locations with the addresses and the phone numbers. If you're looking specifically to volunteer your time or make an online donation or read our blog, that would be hopepc.life.
Okay. So hopepc.com is how we contact you, right? Okay.
Right. And so
All right.
if you want to find out anything that's related to our through our donor website, it would be hopepc.life.
Okay. And okay, to donate. hopepc.life. Okay. And I'm just trying to get this out there. Sorry, we just
Yeah, it's
go
all
ahead.
right.
There we go.
That's
Did I
wonderful.
get it right?
Yes, you sure did.
Okay. So to donate, go to hopepc.life. And that's good to know. You have three different locations in Colleen, Coppers Cove, and Temple. To get the contact information, go to www.hopepc.com. All
Yes.
right, good. That is wonderful. And so um, I am just so excited about the great work that you do. So, as we wrap up this interview, what does empowerment mean to you?
Oh man, empowerment is such a big word. I feel like empowerment is such, um, shall we say, overutilized word in the world's mind, of what empowerment means, especially for a woman, right? Um, but I would say, from a biblical perspective, empowerment would be being equipped to make a choice that you're proud of, that you can stand straight about, that you can feel at peace in your heart about. And so I think in the situation of a woman facing unplanned pregnancy, um, as you know, laying in a hospital bed does not feel empowering. Feeling like you have so many obstacles that you have to resort to a certain decision doesn't feel empowering. I think our job and our little small part of the ministry, of all, the ministry as the whole church, as far as hope is concerned, the way we can empower is to give her all the information so she's equipped with the information to be empowered. And if she chooses abortion and she regrets it and she comes back to us, she can still be empowered through the gospel of Jesus Christ and receive forgiveness and say, God has forgiven me and God has given me gifts and talents that I can share, that I can still glorify Him, even because we're all sinful. And so I think no matter what a woman chooses, there's a way that we can hopefully empower her through the gospel to show that God is so much bigger than us. And so, when we're weak, we can just lean on Him, because we're
Absolutely.
never going to have it all figured out. And the world might say that this is what empowerment looks like. It means a successful career. And so at all cost, or it means looking a certain way, um, living a certain lifestyle. And so we reject that logic, and we go for what Christ says empowers us.
Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I have enjoyed this conversation with you today, Heather.
You too.
Um, I just feel like it was God ordained, and I believe that we're going to continue to work together and see what God will do with our two organizations. One thing for those that may be watching from other states, or we even have some listeners from other countries. uh, Texas is a humongous state. And unfortunately, the need is so great that there is no competition in organizations because the need is
Mm.
just so great. For those who may not know the statistics, Texas has the ninth highest teen pregnancy rate in the country, and Texas has the highest repeat teen births in the country. That's nothing to celebrate. Um, but those are the numbers, those are the
Mhm.
statistics. And so it takes organizations like Hope Pregnancy Center and the Simmons Empowerment Foundation who will have the courage to take a stand and realize that they have what it takes to be a help and to be a blessing to others, because that's where our power lies. And you talk about empowerment, we've been empowered to be a blessing to others. And so I appreciate your time, Heather. And this won't be our last meeting.
Yes.
And I'm just real excited. Don't go anywhere. We'll
Okay.
talk after the broadcast. But thanks so much for being a part of our podcast today.
Thank you for having us, Rhonda.
Okay, thank you. I am so excited. I tell you, this was the first interview where I actually teared up just talking about the power of hope, going from that sense of regret to that power of hope. And so, if you're in the Colleen, Coppers Cove, or Temple area, and you're feeling like you have no hope today because you have an unplanned pregnancy, before you make a decision, get all the facts. Get all the facts so that you can make that decision that you can live with and that God wants you to make. And so I encourage you to reach out to Hope Pregnancy Center. Again, you can get their address and their telephone number at www.hopepc.com. They're located in the three different areas: Killeen, Coppers Cove, and Temple, Texas. So they're local, they're here, they're ready to help right here in Central Texas. And if you're looking to donate, you can also do that at www.hopepc.life. I encourage you to do that. And again, if you are a teen mom and you're trying to get yourself together and to get your life right, as the kids say, but you need some help, I encourage you to reach out to us and text the word graduate to 33777 to get the link to our scholarship application. Don't leave $1,000 on the table. That's what the scholarship is for. We want to give it away directly to the school that you are attending in the fall. To the college, the university, the vocational school, even if you're still in a private school, we want to be a blessing. So text the word graduate to 33777 and you can start the process so that you can get your application. Thanks so much for being a part of our show today. We really appreciate you. And we hope that you will have a very good and successful rest of the week because you have been empowered to do so. And so we look forward to seeing you next time on Empowered Heart to Heart.